Hot sports all plays. Hot sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Hot sport all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hot sports all plays.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We back at it again with another episode of Just Say the Truth. How everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Good, man. It's a Wednesday, middle of the week. Obviously, it is Black History Month. Anybody have a Black hero in mind that they would like to, give a shout out to?
There's a lot of them. Well, let's say to the woman that created tampons. I like her. Because probably most women don't realize it was a Black woman. How about that? Let's go there.
All right.
How about a Black man created the lights? Traffic lights?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, Black man also created a refrigerator too.
Yes.
Yep.
Or the AC.
And man, you'd be surprised. We didn't create a lot of different things.
Yes. There's we could go on. We could be here forever.
Yeah,
we want to be
all right, talking about what Black people created to help make this country a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it won't be a sports show after we done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So leading into it, obviously the headline I wanted to lead with obviously is the big game. The Rams and Bengals. You guys' predictions, man. What do you have? Who do you guys got?
I got the Rams winning by a field goal. I think it's going to be 24-21. I think that's going to be the final score. I think both of these teams are going to throw haymakers. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a very competitive game. It's going to be a heavyweight battle between these two teams. You got two high-flying teams. This Super Bowl features two teams that can, put some points on the scoreboard. And, now we're talking about a Super Bowl here in Southern California. It's expected to be the hottest Super Bowl on record. I mean, what more can you really ask for? You got a lot of storylines here. You got Matthew Stafford. You got Odell Beckham Jr. You got Cool Joe in the house, Joe Burrow on the other side. So, I mean, it's going to be a great game. I think the Rams are going to establish the run game early. At least I hope that is Sean McVay's attention coming into the game, because if they do establish that run game early, they could take the Bengals out of the game early. And if the Rams defense puts pressure on Joe Burrow, it's gonna be a long afternoon for the Cincinnati Bengals. Because let's keep it real. One of their glaring flaws is their offensive line. Their offensive line hasn't done a good job holding Joe Burrow. But here's the thing about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is so good at extending plays. And this is a guy who's oozing with confidence right now. I mean, his confidence level is so high that he believes they can win any game at this point. And they've been riding this magic carpet ride all season with so much momentum. They have a wave of momentum now going into this game. But I do think the Rams edge it out. I think the Rams are the more complete team. They definitely have a great aerial assault led by Matthew Stafford, and then you have a bunch of playmakers that can get the job done. You have Odell Beckham Jr., who I think will surprise everyone and win the MVP by the time it's all said and done. Because, again, you got to remember, Cooper Kupp, everyone's attention is going to be on Cooper Kupp, because this is a guy who's had a record-breaking year. So they're going to be looking to double cover him and tighten things up in that area. And then they're going to forget there's another guy who's just as dynamic and who is just as special and has been on fire since he became around. And he has that laser focus. I'm talking about Odell Beckham Jr. You better watch out. So this is going to be a good game. The only thing that concerns me about the Rams is that suspect secondary. That is something to keep an eye on, because look, you got Jamar Chase, and it's obvious that's going to be an interesting matchup too, because Jamar Chase is most likely going to have to face Jalen Ramsey, and that's going to be a lot of fun to watch too. But hey, here's the thing about Jalen Ramsey. Sometimes Jalen Ramsey slips up a bit, and he gets a rude awakening when he faces a wide receiver as good as Jamar Chase. So what I'm saying here is that if he's not up on his game, Jamar Chase can blow by him really quick and make something happen on offense. But I got the Rams winning. I think they win on a Matt Gay field goal. And that's how I feel about it.
Okay.
First, I'm going to say, Freddie, stop picking random teams because you said 1984 you were born in some small town of California, and so you're going to choose California Rams. You're going to choose the Rams to win. I'm tired of you randomly choosing because of some random loyalty. I'm tired of it. Let's start there. That's one thing. I'm tired of it. You and these random stories. Why you chose that? Let's number one. Two, I am neutral. Because my mom is a Rams fan, and I told you, he tried to call me out. Weren't you rooting for the Bengals? Yes, because I have a friend that passed away, and he was a big Bengals fan. So yes, I am neutral for both sides. My score, and I have been saying it all weekend, 30-33. That's my score. I think it's going to be a very close game, and this is how I broke it down. That secondary of the Rams that I said was very suspect. You only said Jamar Chase, but they have a 3-headed monster, and that's not even including Mixon. That's not even including Mixon. So you could technically say they actually technically have a 5-headed monster because you can actually include one of the tight ends, because the tight end that got carted off, it was just a sprain. So he might be. It was it Uzma? That's how you say it?
It's hard to pronounce his name.
He's going to probably be there. So you have Higgins and Boyd. You have Higgins and Boyd back there that have been actually feeding off of this greatness of of what's going on with Chase. Like, dude, he's been making them better. And that's what teams needed. A lot of teams need somebody like him for that. And so Cooper Kupp is doing it for the Rams. Chase is doing it for the Bengals. So if it's not, and Ramsey only chooses most of the time, he's only a side. What we were talking about, I just did an interview and it was great. We were talking about why don't most teams do what the Patriots did, is usually their top corner is covering their top receiver. They double up on the other side, and then their weak is following the weakest receiver. And that's how they, what I'm saying, if they're going to let their weak receiver beat them. Most teams don't do that, and I don't understand why they don't follow the Patriot way. But there's my Bengals, like I said, back end. But then, like you said, on the front end, who's going to protect Joe Burrow against Thanos? Who's going to protect him? Because we already seen him get sacked 9 times. By some somewhat no names. I'm not trying to make fun of that line, but this is Von Miller and Thanos. Thanos gets tripled and quadruple teamed by himself. So that's, how I'm looking at it. And like I said, Joe Mixon is there too. I forgot to bring him up. But, and the run game for the Rams, you brought up the run game, but your run game has been suspect all season. If Cam Akers,
don't give the ball to Cam Akers. Give it to Cam Akers.
But you say give the ball to Cam Akers, but Cam Akers still technically hasn't got his feet off the ground because he's still trying to get the dust off his shoulders because he's been hurt. So you can't really say give the ball to the man when he hasn't really got an opportunity because he's been hurt. So I would say, and this is just me personally, give the ball to Sony Michel when every time he's been given the opportunity to give the ball, he has been balling.
Right. You get the ball to Sony Michel.
Give him the ball when you need him to somebody to go ham and get that third down, 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches, 4th and inches. Give it to Cam because that's when he was best at doing it. That's just my personal opinion.
And a big factor of their run game early in the season was Darrell Henderson. Then he sustained the injury, and then that's what inspired the Rams to go out and get Sony Michel. And he's been their best option so far this season. He's been that guy who's kind of helped them turn things around in that running game. So I think you give him the most touches. And you go with the flow.
Just what you got?
For me, I have the Bengals winning. So my score is actually 27-30. I have the Bengals winning because I just believe in their play as a second half team. I believe in how composed Joe Burrow can be. I do believe that the key to the game for the Bengals is really Joe Mixon. If Joe Mixon has a solid run game, then the Bengals have a shot because if he can keep the defense honest, keep Von Miller and Floyd and Aaron Donald from pinning their ears back to go after Joe Burrow because they got to not only worry about him running the football, but worrying about him in screens and sweeps and things like that. If he can keep them honest, then the Bengals have a shot because they definitely have enough firepower to do what they want to do. Like you say, you got I think it's Azuma, something like that.
Yes.
And then so you got CJ, you got Boyd, you got Higgins, and you got Chase. And then people underestimate, the athleticism of Joe Burrow. He's deceptively athletic. And he showed that in the AFC Championship game. So for me, I feel like if they can keep and the other reason is because the Rams tend to have mulligan moments in games. They always have a series or 2 or 3 where they're just kind of, I don't know, it's almost like they forget how to play for a moment. And then it's like, oh, what are we supposed to do? And we saw what happens when you make those kind of mistakes against a Bengals team. Like I said, Bengals just kind of keep treading along. They kind of wait for you to make a mistake. And then they're like, okay, now it's our time, And so those things are the reasons why I feel like the Bengals will win. And they're actually, when you put them side by side statistically, they're actually a lot more even than people think. I think people are looking at the aesthetics of it all because you got I call them the Hollywood kids. You got OBJ, you got Matt Stafford, you got Cooper Kupp, and rightfully so. Like they balled out. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the numbers statistically, they really do match up pretty well. So this is going to make for a really good Super Bowl. But I do believe that the Bengals can edge out the Rams.
All you guys made great valid points when you talk about Cooper Kupp, the way the Rams offense is and the way defensive schemes when you talk about lining up Jalen Ramsey with Jamar Chase and LaDonna, you made a great point about the Patriot way and why does other teams copycat? It's a copycat league, so you would think that other teams would do that.
Especially when you got three-headed monster like the Bengals do.
For sure.
Even the Rams have it somewhat. Tyler Higbee.
Yeah.
Even if you had Jefferson.
So yeah, Van Jefferson, that's what I was going to allude to. So with the Rams offensively, and you look at the Bengals offensively, they're actually a lot more evenly matched than you'd expect. And Joe Mixon is the wild card because he is actually the best running back in this game from both.
Yep.
He's the best running back. Not even close.
True.
So
that's a fact.
I absolutely agree that it will be the X factor. However, my pick would be, and it's crazy because you guys stayed in the 20s. Some of y'all went to 30s. I'm like 24-21. That's where I'm at. Rams win 24-21. It's kind of where I'm at with that. I really feel like it's going to be they're going to get a feel for each other early on, and it's not going to be a whole lot of scoring, but the scoring is going to pick up. It'll pick up maybe second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter to come down to a field goal. I can see that happening.
That's what I did. And I just want you to remember the Rams picked the Bengals 34-31. And you know the Bengals. I mean, you know the Simpsons. The Simpsons be on it. You know, they be picking stuff years before, years.
I saw it.
Years ago.
I saw it. They ain't been wrong.
They ain't been wrong. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just
No. You
just
they got a Notre Dame for a writer back in the day.
You want to make a
34-31. But I picked 30-33, and then I saw that and I was like, man, I swear to God, if it's like something like that, I'm going. You're gonna see me like online and be like, I'm going to play some lottery numbers, and it's going to involve 3.
yeah, for sure.
I can see it. If you're gonna make a prediction, ask. You watch the Simpsons yet? Because maybe they probably got it on there. They would know.
Oh yeah. See, Anthony, you can't use that because, like I said, Simpsons have already used those numbers. That is the Simpsons number.
Rookie kicks the game winner. But that would make so much sense.
Right,
He did it in the divisional.
But that's how I feel. It's going to be the rookie game winner. And
he did it in the divisional. He did it in the conference championship. So why not go 3 for 3?
But I'm saying if it's on him, he's going to call it. And I'm going to, like I said, but I'm going to get emotional if Cincinnati wins.
All I know is that this game better not be a dud. It better be one of the greatest of all time, because this playoffs has been simply amazing and breathtaking, and hopefully this carries over into the Super Bowl game.
But it doesn't even matter. There's a concert that we all looking forward to anyway. So what does it matter? Like
I got my big T-shirt, my bandana's ready. It's gonna be on and popping.
We over here trying to figure out what shirt. I'm looking at my husband. I'm like, so you got an Ice Cube shirt? And I've been trying to think. I'm like, should I wear your Ice Cube shirt, or should I wear my Boys in the Hood shirt?
I was trying to figure out if I need to get a Jerry Curl wig or something put on. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to be all in. You know,
I was thinking more of the Snoop Dogg wig or something.
You know what I'm saying? Get the perm wig with like Snoop something.
I wish my 4-year-old already knows all the songs, like because of his daddy. So it's man. My family finna really see my son finna be. They already know he's a performer, but I don't think they ready to see him. The West Coast rapper performer. Like I don't think they're.
Hey, look! I have a feeling Snoop Dogg gonna roll up in the stadium in a lowrider.
I really do.
Oh, he's going. No, that's already a given. We already know that.
Yep.
Just be prepared for the marijuana that he is going to before. I'm trying to figure out like how long the point's going to be.
Oh, that tank
going to be a small one, halfway smoked, just the startings of it. Like that's where, like it literally, if you play Bleacher Report, pick'ems, like perfect picks. It's so fun but this one is even like the question is Snoop Dogg gonna come out smoking a blunt? Like
probably. They might have to open up SoFi Stadium for a moment before the players come back out.
I don't even care about seeing Eminem. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not the biggest Eminem fan. Like, don't get me wrong. I listen to his music. I am here for Kendrick. I am the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan. I listen to everybody that's coming on the stage.
I'm a fan of Eminem. I just don't know what he's gonna perform. Like you can't do any of your songs, bro. It's
none.
We're no longer in that society where that's okay. Like you can't say majority of the stuff that you created.
Man, they finna edit. Man, we finna hear the Kids Bop version.
Like seriously, seriously. Because they talking about he's supposed to perform a couple.
Oh no, Tristan, no. What happened? You're supposed to perform what?
Oh, y'all got me back.
Yeah,
he's supposed to. They said he was supposed to perform some Slim Shady stuff. I'm like, which one? What are you talking about? Which Slim Shady stuff?
He did Slim Shady.
All of them gonna be a band. I don't think so. I think
He
there's
could
a
do.
couple
He
lines
could
in the
do.
verse.
maybe
He could do the
can
edited version.
songs
Slim
with him.
Shady.
I don't know.
Can he? Yeah.
Or Dr. Dre.
All
song.
he could do is all he could probably do is the hooks. That's it. He can't do none of them verses.
Okay,
None
if
of
he
them
can do it
verses.
edited, like I said, they're going to have to edit the crap out of it. Like they're going to
Yeah.
have to do. Like I said, they're really going to have to do the Kids Bop version.
So you think they brought him on because Matt Stafford is in the Super Bowl? Like they just knew Matt Stafford would probably get there. They're like, well, we're gonna do this
That
for
was
you,
by
Detroit.
chance. I had a feeling that really has to be by chance.
We're gonna do this for you, Detroit.
Oh, and I'm also here, Anthony, for Mary J. Blige's walk because everybody.
Oh yeah,
knows
she gonna
the
act
walk.
a fool. I can't
The
wait.
walk. If you're not here for the walk, you don't know about Mary.
Yeah, she gonna act up. I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fireworks popping in this show.
Yeah.
Say so. So it was Browns and Bengals. So the next question I got is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer if he wins the Super Bowl?
Oh
He
yeah,
was a
that
Hall
was a
of
good.
Famer without the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is why me and you are here.
Tristan, we are always from
Just-
the first show we done together. Always.
I was trying to understand why that was even not your
I
question,
saw that.
but why that was
like,
even
what
a
is
thing.
this BS?
Yeah, because I thought that
Yeah.
was a good question because I wanted to address that. I'm just like,
Mhm.
listen, the man was a Hall of Fame. I would say what you want.
Yeah.
I understand how people feel 0-3 prior to the Rams, 0-3 in the playoffs, which means you missed the playoffs for 9 of your 13 years or whatever. I get it. I totally get it. But the numbers that he has, you can't keep someone like that out of the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. So I can't. So all for me, the Super Bowl win, if he loses, he's still a Hall of Famer. People are probably just going to debate it. If he wins it, there's no debate. That's how I look at it. For his numbers, for what he did, and mind you, doing it in Detroit. And I understand he had Megatron. I get it. I get that he had Megatron. But man, he ain't had Megatron his entire career.
Mm-mm.
No.
He had to make something out of nothing with some of them receivers that they got for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he was a Hall of Famer before it. I'll be happy to see him get it because I think he doesn't get the respect that he really should have as a quarterback in this league. The toughness, the grit, him being one of the more clutch players in the game. When you look at the stats, I think when Eli Manning retired, I think Eli and Tom Brady, of course. I think he has the most fourth quarter comebacks in the league.
Besides Tony Nomo.
Exactly. So
And I've never liked my own quarterback, so don't.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
he was
listen, I'm a Washington fan. I hate the Cowboys, but I had respect for Tony Romo.
Yeah,
I did. But Matt Stafford is a Hall of Famer right now. If he retires today, he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
I agree. I agree with Tristan. Hold on, Tariq. We could see the flashlight. Sorry. So if you see the flashlight, that's my child just playing. I don't want nobody thinking, what is going on in her background? That's my child. But he ignore that. I'm trying to block that comment. But yeah, he is definitely one of his own. I was arguing about him. Sunday, matter of fact. And it was a Bears fan. And I get it. She's going to argue because she's like, he used to be in her division.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But at the same time, like you said, he had Calvin Johnson at one point in his career. I bet you, without Googling, most average fan can't tell me, you know what I'm saying, other wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? They can't.
No.
We can.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sure can.
We can, but the average fan can't.
You're right.
I feel like it was like how Cat Williams, and when he was talking about Brittany saved the Kevin Federline moment. What's your favorite Kevin Line moment? Nothing. That's literally what when I feel like when we talk about Matt Stafford, name that wide receiver. He made them somebody's.
Yep.
With those numbers, he made them somebody's. Like, seriously, Marvin, he shouldn't have been a number one option.
Nope. Nate Burleson.
Nate
No,
Burleson.
he shouldn't
Yeah,
even probably even been a number two. Like, let's just be real. By the time they got to him, he probably shouldn't even been a number two option.
Yeah,
Like,
they had
he
Derek
was
Williams at one point, number two.
very
He played quarterback in high school.
yeah. Kenny Galladay.
Yep.
Let's talk about his non-quads. Let's
Right.
talk about that. Like we had a whole argument last season on my show with this guy. And he just kept telling me, oh, he argued. He even came on, like, that's when we were having, like, people on, like, phone calls. And he argued. He's going to be the best. He was a Giants fan. So this was, like, before they even, like, brought him on.
Wow.
And, man, sure enough, Giants just happened to get him. I haven't seen dude all the whole year. He did not come on our show like to say hi. We're just checking in. Like how he normally does. Not one time this season. And I'm like, why didn't you? But why didn't you come in? Oh, because you didn't have a TD this season. Is that because he only had 500 yards?
My man got silenced.
He got more.
Like,
more silent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I'm saying, like he made these, like I say, he made these wide receivers that shouldn't have. He made a lot of these. I would say probably third string wide receivers. First string.
Yeah.
And when they got to other teams, I'll probably say Marvin is actually, because he's down in Jacksonville, not doing bad.
He's okay, but he's not.
He's okay. Like he's not doing fantabulous, but you know what I'm saying. He's probably the only one that's doing
Yeah,
but that's it.
And then let's not even. And we didn't even go. We didn't even talk about like the running back issues his entire career. What's
a running back in Detroit besides that? But after Barry Sanders.
After Barry Sanders.
No one.
What is that?
Like that was always the issue.
Besides Swift.
I was just gonna say DeAndre Swift, but
besides Swift,
it took the kid out of
running back.
Javid Best, he broke. I think he broke his neck. I think he broke his neck or something.
Yep, Javid
You
Best.
gotta blame a lot of that on their offensive line. They never addressed.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to get to was the offensive. So that's why I always argue for Matt Stafford. Like I was a big Matt Stafford fan even when he played at Georgia. Like I just liked his moxie.
Yeah.
I liked how he was. So when the Detroit drafted him, and I watched Detroit games because I wanted to see what Matt Stafford was going to do. And a lot of times, I'm like, man, do you see the team that he has? Like, what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? You put the whole franchise in his hands as a rookie and really did a piss poor job of building it properly. You lucked up when you got Calvin Johnson. Like you lucked up on getting him because you were that horrid that he just fell into your lap. I think it was number 2 or number 3. So like he fell into your lap. You know what I'm saying? And then
could have won number.
Yeah, he could have won number 1. And then the fact that the one time that you gave him a coach with some kind of competence, you fired him after two winning seasons and a playoff appearance. Like, what do you want him to do off of that? So like, I feel like he already proved what we all thought before once he came to the Rams, and you see what he did. Like, I think that was just a proven fact. You put him with a competent team, put him with a competent coach, and then you see what he does. Like, yes, he's a gunslinger. Yes, he's going to take chances. Yes, sometimes the chances can bite you in the butt. Yes. But more times than not, if he makes the mistake, he can probably bail you out of it. He just never had the kind of team where you gave him a chance to do so.
Yeah, I'm over here looking because I was like, what game? Because I remember, because I looked up on tickets. We did some digging, trying not to pay like 2 legs and 5 arms.
I feel you.
For Cowboy Lions tickets. For that 2015 game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like Tony Romo. And we went. And I will say it was like a hell of a game. Matt Stafford, 323 yards, one TD, interception. Tony Romo, 293 yards, two TDs. That's when they had Bell.
Oh, I forgot about Bell.
Their best wide receiver at that time was Golden Tate and Calvin, and they still had Calvin Johnson on the team. Calvin Johnson was hurt, but Golden Tate. I'm not ignoring you, Anthony. I'm gonna bring you up in that question in 2 seconds. But Calvin, Golden Tate, and he was just all right. Like he wasn't but that was like their number one after Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, Matt Stafford he had an empty cupboard. He really did.
Like he made, like I said, he made miracles.
He really did. He really did. And it wasn't like, people talk about all the losing seasons and stuff. It wasn't like he was getting blown out every game. He lost some heartbreakers. Like that was the thing. Like he lost some heartbreakers where he did everything he could. And it was just the defense just failed him. And it was just like, well, what do you want me to do?
Because even this playoff game, they could have won.
Yeah, it's like I put up 35 points, you put 40. Exactly. Like that's what happens. It's like, what do you want me to do? I can put up these numbers, but what do you want me to do? So
Anthony Price said, "Can I give you 3 QB names and you tell me if they are Hall of Famers?" Price, I hope you're still there. I think you are. Sorry, we just got into that debate of that was a great question, and I love seeing questions like that.
I loved when I saw that in
when I saw the question, I was like, I'm not going to answer it now because I'm like, this is the most I have defended Matt Stafford in 1 week of my life.
Same.
Matthew Stafford's Hall of Fame status has reached new heights since he's become around. Now that he's around, it's more prevalent. His numbers, his numbers are more attractive now that he's around. And all he needed was a change of scenery. And once he got, on the right team and was given that chance to really, show his talent and show who he really is, as the league was able to identify him much better, we have a chance. We finally get to see the real Matthew Stafford. And I feel like all his years in Detroit, he got robbed of his greatness, but now he's on the big stage and he's, seizing every moment. He's embracing it. He's living up to his hype, and, he's showing everyone what he's capable of doing. And this guy, man, he exhibits true grit. He plays with a high level of confidence.
He does.
And he's doing all the right things, in big moments to propel his team to victory. And it's amazing what he's been able to do. That's why I said earlier that he's the most compelling story in this year's Super Bowl, because he's come such a long way to get to this point in his career. And now we don't have this public slander about him anymore. Right. Now there's still people out there hating on him, believe it or not. And this man has, engineered drives and put his team in positions to win and succeed. And you still have people saying Matthew Stafford is this, Matthew Stafford is that.
There's people that still hating on Tom Brady. So there's that.
Right. But Matthew Stafford has, has proven to be resilient. He has.
I have a question real quick to answer, to you, Jonathan.
Yes.
Are people just now seeing Matt Stafford? You know what I'm saying? Like, are people just now really seeing?
Yes.
Like we just said, we know Matt Stafford,
right?
Because we're a true football fan,
right?
And we all said like Matt Stafford is really a super. I really think he is a Hall of Famer,
right?
But is everybody seeing that he is a true Hall of Famer because they're giving him more? He's on prime time almost,
right. Yes.
Some type of prime time every week, and they're actually seeing that arm he has, and he plays. If he's hurt, he's playing, but he's been doing that in Detroit because he had to, because he wouldn't have been playing because he had no line.
Right. And to answer your question, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I think most casual fans are seeing who Matthew Stafford really is. You know, when you play in the city like Detroit and a team that is not playoff worthy, that is not anything close to being a playoff team, you're not going to get a lot of attention. You know, especially in a city like that one. Now you come to LA where there's bright lights, where there's Hollywood, where there's a big market, a new stadium. You're gonna get a lot of attention on you, and a lot of people are gonna pay close attention to Matthew Stafford, and that's what has happened here. And now you have a chance to see this man cement his legacy this weekend and win a Super Bowl. And now he has that chance to hoist his first ever Super Bowl trophy, the Vince Lombardi trophy. You know, and what we didn't see for many, many years, those who didn't pay close attention, we didn't see a man who possesses all these traits of an elite quarterback. Yes, I said an elite quarterback, because he definitely has the arm strength. He definitely has the throwing mechanics. And, you know, he definitely has great awareness in the pocket. He has all the tools of a top-tier quarterback. And we've seen it in one season in LA. And we've seen what he can do in one season. He didn't need more than one season to get to where he is now.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes this story even more amazing.
Yeah. So say I was gonna say to piggyback off of that. I mean, everything you guys said, I was basically finding myself to be like, okay, they get it, because there are people who don't get it, right? There are people who would say, because of him being in Detroit, they look at the playoff, him being 0-3, and they look at, oh well, he wasn't that good because the Detroit Lions wasn't good. People gotta understand, man, organizations wins championships. It's not just, I mean, obviously in football it's a lot different. A lot of pieces has to happen. It has to go right for it to be a championship caliber team to begin with. And it starts up front. It starts with your front office. And if your front office is making rash decisions, firing coaches after 2 winning seasons, after a playoff appearance, it's going to be hard for any quarterback, any given player in the situation to win games. And the number one thing I always point out to people, and I always say this, and I was like, this is something I don't think people pay attention to, the 2 most prolific receiving seasons in NFL history. Guess who were the quarterbacks of both of them? When you talk about Calvin Johnson and Cooper Kupp, guess who the quarterback of both of them was? Matthew Stafford. Somebody had to throw them the ball. Somebody had to throw them. Like, they not just out there making all the plays themselves. Somebody had to be in position and put those guys in positions to make those plays or to get the yards, to get touchdowns. Like, it's a signal caller out there. So it's crazy when we talk about these things, when we say this, and then everybody looks at this whole dynamic of, well, he's from Detroit and they weren't good in Detroit. Okay, well, Jared Goff just went over there and Detroit didn't win their first game until like week 12. So I think that says a lot about the organization itself and what he was coming from compared to when you come to LA with the Rams and them having the organization, them having a foundation to go off of, winning ways, culture. It's a big thing that it makes everything around better when you have culture and everything is established. So that's a good topic to talk about. I really, really wanted to get on that because I was like, it was just something that was on my mind. I was like, man, I gotta ask, I gotta know.
We got a question after we come after commercial break. We got a question, and someone
that
asked
3
us
QB
about
question.
Yes, and I wanted to wait till he came back. I was like, we gotta wait until he comes back. So we will be right back.
Whole sports, all plays. Whole sports, all plays. Whole sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports, all plays.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna post the question first.
Okay, let's go for it. What we got?
So I can give you 3 names, and then here is the 3. And I like this. I like this because
Okay, let's see. We got Matt Ryan.
one of them is one of my favorite QBs. That's not a QB. That's not a Cowboy. And obviously, it's not Tony Romo. I like Tony Romo as the announcer. I like Tony Romo. I love him as the announcer.
Matt Ryan, Drew Brees. Drew Brees without the ring, and Tony Romo. I mean, okay, so when you, I guess my question would be to piggy off of that. Okay, are we talking about Drew Brees? Does he have playoff appearances? I mean, is there playoff wins? Like, what will his play like? You have to give me something.
I'll just say he can have a ring. I'll just say this: he can have the ring. For me, he can have the ring. I will say 2 out of 3 will. 2 out of 3.
I mean,
Hall of Famers. I think all 3 will get in. And this is just me personally. This is my thing. And it's not even because I don't even like Tony Romo. I just personally don't think he is a Hall of Famer. But, you know, Matt Ryan, I do think is a Hall of Famer. But I don't even know if he might be pushing it like on the edge. I think he's on the edge of he might not even make it to get in. And the only reason I don't think he might not get in, and it's not even because he's never been to, you know, he's only been to the 1 Super Bowl. His numbers, you know, if you look at his numbers, he's been like the most consistent quarterback in Atlanta's history. But that doesn't get you into the Hall of Fame. That might get you into Atlanta sports of Hall of Fame, but that doesn't get you into the Hall of Fame.
I like that. Where you going with that?
So I want him to get in. That's my personal opinion. I think he gets in. If he does, it's going to be his very last chance. The same thing with Tony Romo. Tony Romo looks very flippin' good on paper. Like if you look at Tony Romo's paper stats, like man, he looks like that Tony Romo that y'all be looking at, that the fans look at, my husband looks at on paper. I don't see that Tony Romo on throwing the ball. Like that's not the Tony Romo I saw. And all his fans thinks he's going to get in. I don't see it. Again, if he looked that good, he might, again, he's going to get in the Ring of Honor here in Dallas. He's going to get in. Jerry, he's like married to his niece, great niece. He's married to the family. Like he's getting in like the first chance he gets. You know, he's in. Is he going to get in the Hall of Fame? If it is, again, because his first chances this year.
Yeah, I think
he retired. He retired in 2016.
Yeah, it's this year. Yeah, so don't get mad when you see his name. You know, because people are gonna be like, "Why is Tony Romo?" Well, here we are. But I don't think the only person I really do believe. Like I said, it's 2 out of 3, and the only reason is very slim on those 2. But the one person I do believe is Drew Brees, because he had all those he broke records. He had a phenomenal year. Every time you saw Drew Brees, you wanted to watch the game. And even that last year, we know he had no damn reason to be on that damn field. You still watched every opportunity because you knew it might have been your last opportunity to see the man that's named Drew Brees to play. And the Saints fans, y'all need to thank whoever discussed that trade to get him. Because there wouldn't have been no Drew Brees might not even been a Saint, and we might even be having this discussion. Is he even, you know, even if he was, you know, would he even be in a Hall of Famer? Would he even have a Super Bowl ring? Not even with the Saints, period, but would he even have a ring?
Yeah. So for me, Drew Brees without a ring, so when he said without a ring, I assumed that he had everything else. So the passing records, all that stuff. So when he said no ring, I assumed everything else was still there.
Yeah.
So with no ring, he's still a Hall of Famer. With that one ring, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. When his ticket comes up, when his name comes up, that first year eligibility, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Even more so because Eli Manning will already be in the Hall of Fame with his 2 rings. Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger won't be in the Hall of Fame until after him. There's no other quarterback in between that retired that could outseat him for a spot in the Hall of Fame when his year comes. So they always put a quarterback in the Hall of Fame. So he's going to be first ballot guaranteed. Now, here's I'm gonna be a little controversial. I don't like Matt Ryan.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell y'all why I don't like Matt Ryan. I know, D. I know. Here's my thing. The reason why I don't like Matt Ryan is because I feel like I think for me, I watched a lot of college football for a very long time. And I remember the conversation when Matt Ryan got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, to be drafted to Atlanta and to have the offensive weaponry that he had all his years, even though he has the numbers that he has, even though he has the 1 MVP, thank you, Kyle Shanahan, and got to the Super Bowl that 1 year. I get that. I really think he underachieved. I really feel like he underachieved for his career. For the weapons that was handed to him, I can't think of another player that had that many potential Hall of Fame players at his arsenal throughout his career. Roddy White's going to get consideration. Tony Gonzalez is already in because Tony Gonzalez still had a few good years in Atlanta with him. Julio Jones for that number of years.
Why when I'm questioning that, I question that one. But go ahead.
Listen, I'm telling you, to be in the situation that he was in, mind you, also playing in the NFC South, also playing in that division for all those years. I really, really believe that he underachieved for what he was supposed to be. Okay. And that's what I'm basing it off of. What he was supposed to be when he was coming out, when they talked about him, they talked about his intangibles, they talked about his intelligence, all that stuff. So what he was supposed to become, I think if he had won that Super Bowl against Tom Brady, it probably would have eliminated my entire argument for him. Because I'm like, well, he got the Super Bowl, he got the MVP, I ain't got nothing else to say. But because he didn't win, and I understand the defense is what had Tom Brady come back, but Matt Ryan, should have stopped the bleeding. So I'm of that thing. So
Kyle Shanahan's play calling didn't have nothing to do with it.
You know what I feel. You know what I feel about that, especially specifically
because he did it. You know, he just showed last 2 years.
I'm with you, D. But especially that last series, I'll never forget that Super Bowl. That last series, if I'm Matt Ryan, in that last series, I'm not even listening to you, Kyle. I'm not listening to you. This is my team. You just got here. I've been here. I'm not even listening to you. If I know the situation and I know that's Tom Brady on the other side of the field that I'm playing against, I'm not even listening to you trying to throw the ball everywhere away. We running. We running and we're gonna run that clock. We're gonna drain it for all it's worth. And I feel like those moments like that where I'm just like, Matt Ryan, you should have been better than that. So that's my take. Now, numbers wise, he's probably still going to get in the Hall of Fame. I say all that to say he's probably still going to get in. Okay.
I think it's going to be his last year. Like I said, it's going to be his very last chance.
It's going to be one of those almost senior type Hall of Fame things. Yeah. Same thing with Tony Romo, because the glaring thing for Tony Romo, when you look at his numbers, he has all the Cowboys records. So that's why, going in the Ring of Honor, no question. But what's so glaring is the lack of playoff appearances. And then when you were in the playoffs, people still remember when you fumbled that snap for that field goal kick against the Seahawks. People going to remember that. People still going to remember that the interception that you had playing against Green Bay. People going to remember that. Just like they remember Des Bryant catch. They're going to remember certain things with Tony Romo. That is going to scar in their head. All those writers that vote for the Hall of Fame. So it'll be hard for Tony Romo to get in. I would put Matt Ryan getting in before Tony Romo because of Matt Ryan's consistency. but I feel like he's consistent by default. I feel like Matt Ryan should have been so much better than what he's been in his career.
Okay.
Got a question. When is Philip Rivers' time to cash in the Hall of Fame?
I think second ballot. I don't know first. It depends.
I don't think he's gonna be first.
No, he's definitely not first. He's a second.
He's a second.
He's
Maybe
a second,
third.
but he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Maybe
real
third.
Oh no question. I think he's in top 10.
Would you put Eli?
I can't.
Eli as a first ballot.
I can.
Would you put Eli?
I can.
You want to know why? You want to know why Eli's going to be first ballot?
Because he won 2 Super Bowls.
Because he beat Tom
against Tom Brady.
Yes, Tom Brady.
That's the only reason. Oh, I hate that.
Y'all got to deal with that reality. I've been telling people.
No, for me though,
y'all better live with it.
for me, guys, it's very easy to say Matt Ryan's status as a Hall of Famer is borderline.
It is borderline.
It's borderline.
But he's going to get in.
You can't ignore his numbers.
Yes.
We can't do that. Given everything that's happened throughout the course of his career, he has had his fair shares of ups and downs, which kind of brings up some questions about whether or not he's Hall of Fame worthy. I think that's why a lot of people are like, does he get in the Hall of Fame?
Look at the last few years.
Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? And I'm with you, man. I think he's kind of underachieved throughout the course of his career. He's had so many weapons at his disposal, and he could have done so much more with all the pieces he's had around him. No excuses.
Arthur Blank was not shy with that checkbook.
You know, but
Arthur Blank was not shy with that checkbook.
Right, but you can't deny his textbook greatness.
Yes.
And his consistency and his durability.
Yes.
Those are 3 things that made him last as long as he did in Atlanta. You know, and the people there, they loved him. He kind of gravitated towards them. People did. And they admired his play on the field. You know, and he did get to a Super Bowl. Tony Romo never got to a Super Bowl. At least Matt Ryan can say he has a Super Bowl in his resume.
I'll tell you this right now. They do not like Matt Ryan right now.
They don't. And
he's worth a lot of money and he's long in the tooth.
Yeah.
But there is a potential out right now.
Is there?
There is this year is a potential out.
I thought they were locked in on him. I didn't think there was an out.
No, I think
there's a potential out. Right? I think it's this year. I think because we've been talking about it. Like people forget about contracts and how much it expense. I think we need as a podcasters need to have a show of contracts, like serious, like breakdown for people to understand, like the general fan of how to understand contracts.
Right.
And it's not that easy for a team to let go of a person because of a contract, and if you do, how much the person, how much it's going to cost the team. The reason they let go of Julio because it was cheaper, and they were like, why? Because yes, it is and I was like, yeah, because there's a potential out. There is a potential out. Do not be surprised if they let him go, because there is a 4-year, $117 million, $40 million dead cap for Atlanta on Matt Ryan. Even though they're saying that's their QB, he may be gone. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. And
was it you, Jonathan, on the other podcast? I can't remember. Somebody said something like, when you talking about these contracts, the Saints still owe Drew Brees $11.5 million. He ain't touched the field not once.
That's why they're 74 million over the cap this year.
Oh yeah, they're in salary cap.
Yeah, and then this is why like you keep hearing Green Bay saying that they're like 44 million. They're like 44 million over the cap, and they keep saying that Aaron Rodgers is coming back, but his contract is 40 million. They owe him 40 million this season, but they're 44 million over the cap. You can miss me with that BS. I've heard some great lines from men like saying that, you know, they were going to come back over. We are not seeing Aaron Rodgers again like, in a Green Bay.
All right.
I think he retires.
We're gonna move on to the NBA. Is this so? Here's my first question. Obviously, we've seen the reports. I got an opportunity to talk. Then you pointed out something that I was like, oh, they updated it again today. So is this the end of the big three in Brooklyn?
Yep.
James Harden.
Yep.
Okay.
So my thing is, I got questions for you, James. I don't know if you're gonna listen to this podcast, James Harden. But why would you go to Brooklyn if you didn't want to live in Brooklyn?
Let me answer.
Like,
I know the answer.
Hold on. We know there's no strip clubs there. Like, we know there's no good strip clubs there.
He thought he was gonna go there and win a championship.
No, it's not even about championship. I get that there's a championship, but we're talking about just living because he's mad. Hold on. We gonna get there. But he's first mad about the living situation. Brooklyn is not like Houston. It's a total different living situation than Houston. I live in Texas, so I know what Houston is like. I've been to Brooklyn. I know what New York is like. So if I had to like live in one, I hate Houston, but I'm living in Texas. Like I'm living in Texas before I live in New York. So yeah, exactly. And then the traffic is hell. So like I don't know why would you move there for I don't know if he just jumped and go, like I don't know. And then two, I get that you're mad about the whole Harden situation. I'm at the Kyrie situation. I get that that's your homie. But at the same time, you kind of have to just man up and be like, he's his own man. That's his decision on what he wants to do. I have to do what I have to do to try to make this team win. And now I felt like he just gave up. And I'm like, okay, so I get, I try to defend him in Oklahoma because him and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and KD wasn't working in Oklahoma. Did that kill you, Tristan? My bad. They weren't working in Oklahoma. So he went to Houston. So then he got the spotlight on him. And they were like, well, he was underpaid. Well, he was the backup. So we don't pay high. We're not going to pay you all this money for a backup. Like you're a backup. Let's just be real. So you go to Houston, get paid again. They brought his homie again. Didn't work out. And then again, he just found some reason not want to be there. So then he gets trip to Brooklyn. Found a reason to get to Brooklyn.
Well, he would have went AWOL anyway in the playoffs.
It's not even if he. But he found a reason just to go AWOL. Like he put on a fat suit, and it's amazing how skinny he got. And it's amazing how there's this guy that's in Arizona that was. The reason they got to the playoffs and the only reason they didn't go far in the playoffs because he's got hurt. But we ain't gonna talk about that. That's a whole nother show. But I just feel like he just gives reasons and excuses, and I'm just kind of tired of defending him. And now there's another excuse. So go ahead, Tristan, because I know it's I call BS and when I see BS, and it's all BS.
What if I told you that this one time
30 for 30
it is not James Harden's fault this time. I don't put it on him this time. I'm gonna tell you why. James Harden came to Brooklyn because he said, I don't feel like carrying this load anymore. I don't want to be the guy anymore. I'll just be one of the guys. Mm-hmm. And he said, I got Kyrie and I got KD. And all I got to do is be a playmaker. I ain't got to do nothing else. Kyrie wants to score. I'll give him the ball to score. KD is the automatic scorer. I'm going to give him the ball to score, and I'll pick my spots where I can. Mm-hmm. What happened was that Kyrie wanted to now become the Malcolm X of the NBA and not want to play basketball for. And I respect. Listen, I respect anyone that makes a decision on what they want to do with the vaccine. What they don't want to do is your body. It's your choice. You're a grown man.
Yeah.
But you have a responsibility.
Come on, man.
As a superstar, and as someone that gets paid full-time pay as a superstar, guaranteed money to perform for your organization. They didn't bring you in because they just wanted you to fill the seats. They brought you in because they're like, if we pair you with this guy and this guy, we're almost guaranteed to win the championship. That's why we brought you in. So when Kyrie had his little flat earth moment, what happened was it put more stress on KD and James Harden to perform. KD now gets hurt, and then it's all on James Harden. And James Harden's like, "Oh dang, I'm back in Houston again.
Yep,
I'm back in Houston all over again. It's all on me. I ain't signed up for this." That's why James Harden is frustrated, because now you got Kyrie playing part-time, and you don't know when KD is going to come back fully healthy. So James Harden's sitting there like, "Oh, I'm in the same situation that I was in Houston with a team that's worse because y'all traded away everybody in order for all three of us to be here. So no, I don't want to be here anymore because this is not what I signed up for." Kyrie has literally sabotaged 2 franchises within a calendar year. He's sabotaged almost 2 franchises between Boston. They still trying to figure it out.
Yep.
And now with the Brooklyn Nets. They were supposed to win a chip. This was a guaranteed slam dunk chip, especially the fact that Klay was gone for 2 years out of Golden State. There was no one else you really looked around and said, who's going to beat that squad in Brooklyn if all 3 of them are on the court? So now this is where we are. So it's not James Harden. All those other times that D talked about with James Harden, Houston, OKC, even how he got out of Houston, all that's all on James Harden. This one's not. This is all when if someone wants to point a target as far as the implosion of the Brooklyn Nets, it's Kyrie Irving.
John, what you got?
I like that. That was like a real good description.
Thank you, D. It means a lot for me, you know.
Jonathan, are you there? Are you there, Jonathan? Are you reading? Are you over? Dude, is your mic even on?
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
Okay, we hear you.
Dude.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. Good.
Verizon commercial?
Yes.
Go ahead, Jonathan. Let me hear your thoughts on that.
What's up?
Let me hear your thoughts on
your
that.
opinion.
Man, this James Harden stuff is tiring, exhausting, and enough's enough. James Harden goes everywhere. He's unhappy. He was unhappy in Houston. He wanted out. He got his wish. His preferred destination was to Brooklyn. He ended up there. Now it's not panning out. It's not going the way he wants it to go. And now again, he wants to be, shipped out of town. He's on the move all of a sudden again. And, this is just James Harden for you. Yes, you could point the finger at Kyrie Irving. Sure, you can make the argument that he sabotaged 2 NBA franchises, but James Harden can't always have it his way. He can't act like the self-entitled brat all the time. It's getting old. Dude, suck it up and just play.
Can you blame him for this one in particular? If we just isolate it, I get it.
It's like,
but if we isolated this one,
it's like the boy that cried wolf.
Yeah. So I get it.
I said that the other day in my video. You must have heard the video.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Because I said he's the little boy that cries wolf.
You did say that.
And it's not really going to make much of a difference anyway, whether he's there or not. Why? Because he always go AWOL in the playoffs. He has a history of pulling off this disappearing act. That's James Harden for you. He stacks up all these records and piles up all these numbers during the regular season. And then when the playoffs come, he disappears. He's nowhere to be found. It's like looking in the book, where's Waldo? Trying to find out where the guy's at. So I mean, this happens periodically. I mean, he obviously wants to change the scenery again. So, now Brooklyn's going to grant him his wish. He's going to go play in another city. And then there'll only be a matter of time where he wears out his welcome there. And then he starts complaining again. And then he wants another trade. What it all comes down to, folks, is that this is a man who won't ever be happy because he realizes that wherever he goes, and when the going gets tough, and when he realizes that he can't win a championship, he wants to find the easiest route closest to winning a championship. And that's just James Harden for you. He can't stay loyal to one city or one team.
I was going to say,
sound like Freddie.
I was going to say, we move on to the next topic. I was going to say real quick. It's like, how a kid goes into a candy.
I lost Tristan. No!
You lost him?
No. I killed him. Like, for real. Like, I really killed him.
Oh, man. Like, the situation is like with Harden, it's like watching. It's like a kid in the candy store, man. And the kid, you point out something in the aisle, like, I want this candy. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yep.
I don't want that. And it's a constant thing. It's like the boy that cried wolf, to be honest. So even if it's not his fault, you can't help but feel like, okay, this is just hard.
I killed you. I am so sorry, Tristan. I killed you.
I thought it was on my end. It's okay.
I killed you.
So the next,
it was it.
This been another big one going on throughout this week, and actually for this past months, man. The Lakers are 26-29, man. Will the Lakers make roster moves by the trade deadline tomorrow?
You're gonna invite Freddie to come on now.
You can't.
It ain't gonna help. What's it gonna do?
They can't. They're like Russ's contract. It hurts them so badly.
Harden. There you go. Get Harden.
I don't want Harden over there.
Harden.
I'm a Lakers
Take
fan. I don't want
Harden
Harden.
and ship Russ.
Oh, we don't need that toxic wasteland.
Not at all.
You already got toxic. You already got a toxic.
We got toxic wasteland with Russell. So why?
Am I talking to any Lakers fans? Okay. Yeah. So just let me
Doritos.
If Russell Westbrook is running your second unit, are you okay with that?
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Okay.
If you were going to take him, run the second unit. That's why I said it was going to be a mistake. I think me and Jonathan, we talked about it on the other show. Yep. We said it was a mistake because we knew Russ wasn't going to come off the bench.
Right.
That's why it was a mistake to get him in the first place. But if he were to come off the bench, it would have been fine.
I thought he had to work.
Okay. I mean, okay. I was curious because I know we talk about that, and it's been a big talk, man, about if Russell Westbrook gonna get moved or not, and how if he doesn't.
No one's taking that money.
What do y'all? Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, but at the same time, right?
Freddie.
Man.
Did you not hear me saying, "Oh, here we go"?
Yeah.
And I thought we had to work. I was not joking.
So Fred, at the top, the question
I'm
was,
dead.
Freddie is the man, though. Freddie's the man.
No, he's not.
Don't be rude, LaDonna.
No, that's not being rude. Being honest.
He's just a lovable Laker fan. That's all.
No.
He's just passionate.
He only came on because he heard us talk about the Lakers. If we weren't talking about the Lakers, he wouldn't have came on.
He truly believed they could come back and pull off this miraculous.
I just wish he was more like you, Jonathan. Realistic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that happening. Not with this roster, man. I mean, you have to really. I mean, you have to have Russell Westbrook to swallow his pride and run with that second unit because I can see really flourishing in that role. And then, I mean, Malik Monk will have to play out his mind. I mean, he would have to play like he did every night at that point. He would have to drop 20-25. He had to pick up the production. But
Can
I
he
don't
do
know
that,
if he's a high volume scorer like that because it's not that he can't score and he can't get 18 to 20, but in playoff time, we need that to go up to about 20, 22 to 25. And I don't know if he can do that. We've never
Consistency.
do it, so we don't know.
Consistency. You could pick up the production and then you could take the next night off and then pick it right back up again. And it's all about consistency.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not sure
Can I
that
go?
like I told Tristan before, and Tristan, we talked about this. You have to have a solid bench to win in the NBA. And that's something the Lakers lack.
They don't have a bench.
They don't have a bench.
Y'all been saying that from the jump. And well, Jonathan's
Can I-
definitely
can I-
been saying that. You and Tristan, but y'all been saying that from the jump.
Come on, Fred. What you got, man?
Can I
What you
preach to them? I need everybody to bow your heads. We're about to pray to the basketball gods. Hold on. Our Father, to our basketball gods, to Dr. Jerry Buss, to Jerry West, to Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. Get Russell Westbrook off this team, please. Hey, listen, man. My hope is falling off. You know, I've had a lot of hope when it came with this team.
Come to the light, Freddie. Come to the light. It's okay.
But it's been so hard to watch this team the last 2-3
terrible.
games.
It's terrible.
You know, I had hope that when the big three is healthy, that we will dominate, that we will change the script, change the narrative. But man, it got worse. It then got worse.
It got worse.
I mean, Russ. I mean, we're in a bad situation, y'all. We are in a bad situation that we can't get nobody to take Russell Westbrook. I mean, we can't get nobody to pick him up. I mean, it's so bad to the point, man. The last couple games, and you know, let's address his comments, basically saying, "Oh, he should be in the closing lineup because of who he is, what he's done in the past."
I was gonna get to that. Okay,
Russ,
come on.
who the hell are you? What the hell you done this year?
What have you done?
Let's talk about the past. Let's bring up the past. What have you done in the past? You put up these big numbers, but it don't lead to winning.
Empty
But
calories.
everybody wanted to defend Russell Westbrook. This dude is a problem. You know, I've never seen it in the NBA game. Fans are saying, please do not shoot the basketball. I've never seen that before.
Never seen that.
before.
They chanted,
Jonathan,
do not shoot.
Jonathan, you know this for a fact. Lonzo Ball was in LA.
They didn't even do that to Lonzo.
They didn't even do that to
Lonzo.
Yeah, he had the ugliest shot too, man. Let me tell you, he had the ugliest shot, and they did not once chant. And Laker fans are not known to be this rowdy. They're not known to be this.
Marcus
No, I
Camby's shot was
disagree with that.
uglier than it's uglier than
Yeah, they're not known
anybody.
to be
So we
this
ain't gonna
rowdy
talk about that.
bunch. But right about now, everyone's patience is thin,
Running
is
thin.
wearing thin, and everyone is kind of over this Laker team. It's loss after loss. It's getting worse. You know, I have to pop a pill every night now because I suffer from chronic headaches watching this team, and it's just not getting any better. So
you're a pill
people are very frustrated with Russell Westbrook. They've now realized that it was a regrettable move by the Los Angeles Lakers. They should have kept his butt in the nation's capital where he was, and they should have held on to the pieces they had because they were better off with Kyle Kuzma.
I would have rather Dennis Schroeder.
Montrezl Harrell. And I understand that sometimes the pressure is a heavy burden on your shoulder when you play in a city like Los Angeles. But damn, I mean, these guys went to another team and they just soared to new heights. And the Lakers look like the dumbest team in NBA now because they
see that question, Jonathan.
They traded for.
I was about to say that.
You know,
pay him all this money to be a bench player.
They shouldn't have paid him all that money.
I'm willing to do
because he was going to be a bench player from jump, right?
Yeah.
Well, Frank Vogel got to go too.
But as I'm saying, I mean, if you're saying you're paying him as a bench player, I mean, I would pay him to run my second unit. Absolutely. Like, I mean, yeah, you're overpaying him for it, but hell, at least he would give me some kind of value with the second unit than no value at all. So although the money is astronomical, and obviously you wouldn't pay a 6-man to run your second unit that amount of money, right now that's just what the cards have been played out. That's what has been laid to you. So yeah,
right.
hey, run my second unit. Let's go. Run it. Get your triple dub with the second unit. Let's get the starters back in. Let's get rolling. If we got to pay him $40 million to do it this year, then damn it, that's what we got to do.
But he's not going to swallow his pride because he's never adjusted his style of play. So what makes
But
Well, you know what, Jonathan? You don't swallow his pride. Don't
well,
play.
his equal side? He's not
I
going
don't agree with that part about swallowing pride thing because he's been benched twice now. He's been benched twice in the fourth quarter now,
and that's why he's all hostile. And
he went to
No,
and he
this
had
is
a
first
and
time.
he went to the post game and
Mhm.
said what he said.
yeah.
yeah,
But yeah.
because
Still,
he's pouting about it, and it should be more about in this stage of your career. It should be more about winning a championship anyway.
That's it. Whatever you got to do to win a championship
yeah.
Exactly.
at this point.
And it's not.
But he said,
And
but
it's not.
he has said he doesn't care to win the championship. He's
Delusional.
already said,
Delusional.
Exactly.
You know
It's all
what?
about him.
Kobe,
He's been a very
can we
selfish
stop
player.
this? Can we stop this narrative? I'm tired of people in the NBA, fans, everything, of putting this Mamba mentality on everybody in the NBA.
Oh, I
You know,
don't
we
do
used
it.
to say that about Russ. We say we got this Mamba mentality. No, because
Well,
guess
he has
what?
this
Mamba
fierce
mentality.
competitiveness. You could say that. He
No
does.
Yeah,
one-
but
listen.
Jonathan, at the end of the day, that Mamba mentality, Kobe would never. He would never come out and say, "Oh, it's I'm a
Right.
champion in life.
There
It's
is
not
no
about
one-
me."
I don't put it on
You know.
nobody. I don't put it on
There
nobody
is
but
no
Kobe.
one in the NBA that has that mind.
Yeah.
Of Kobe Bean Bryant.
Right.
There ain't a one.
That's it.
and
Because
that
there will never be another one.
It's one of one.
it's
He's the
okay.
best
Exactly.
version of himself.
You know, like everybody don't have that mentality. So yeah, the fact that they push that narrative of the Mamba mentality, I get it. You're trying to carry on that legacy. You
Yeah, I
want
get what Freddie is saying.
that person. But again, man, it's only one of one. Like Kobe, I respect his game. That's Mamba mentality. Like that would probably never be seen again. And that is okay, people. Like viewers, that is okay.
We don't have to repeat
Don't-
greatness.
You don't have to put that on everybody. And that
Right.
is
Exactly.
Do you
Now,
want to go into your next question
Yep,
with
my
this?
next-
Because I know he's saying because
Hey, before we move on, I just want to
I know that's Beal.
I
I
want
know
to say
Beal was
one
one of
more
your
quick thing
questions.
about the Lakers. I have a question for all you guys. How many more damn coaches are the Lakers gonna have to go through till they get it right? Because they haven't
But
had
Jonathan, this ain't no coaching.
But
This ain't no coaching,
But
bro.
you're talking about like you're acting like you just didn't win 2 years ago.
I know we won 2 years ago, but you gotta remember too,
You're
that was in a
acting,
bubble.
but do you understand?
I'm not trying to
Two-
say there was an
two.
asterisk next to it because it wasn't.
This
But
isn't
Ooh.
but this isn't a Frank Vogel issue. This is
Exactly.
a bad roster.
It's a whole entire organization.
I can't
Yeah,
put it on
I
Frank
don't
Vogel.
But
blame
Jonathan,
Vogel. I
I
don't
can't
blame
put it on Frank Vogel. This is a bad roster.
because Jonathan,
It was poorly constructed.
Yeah.
because you got to realize,
But-
Jonathan. I mean, Frank Vogel can't go tell Russ, "Hey, Russ, go." Hey, he can't make him shoot the ball. But
Yeah.
He can't make him not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that
Man.
you got to be bought in.
Yeah.
The coach, what is he going to say is different than what Phil Handy's saying?
This is on LeBron.
So
Yeah.
you guys are
LeBron.
still
This is
content.
LeBron's problem.
So you guys are still content with Frank Vogel?
I think you give Frank Vogel an adequate
Why
roster,
Why
he'll be
wouldn't
fine.
you be?
Okay.
He
All right.
give him a chance.
I'm telling you,
This isn't for him. This ain't.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be okay with Frank Vogel? Like
People
he
be ta-
just
Because
he
it's
just brought you a ring, didn't he?
Yeah.
He,
Okay.
like
Because Laker fans
just
are
brought you a
Man,
ring.
LD,
how fast people try-
LDZ, I'm not going to lie to you.
we're not winning. We got to get him out
At
of
the
there.
beginning of the year,
Yeah, like y'all spoiled ass.
LDC,
Like,
I'm
come
not
on,
gonna
y'all sound very privileged.
Yeah, we are privileged. We
Well,
got
get-
out
so-
better
LDZ,
right now.
at
We
the
got
beginning of the
Sonny.
year,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year, I wanted Frank Vogel gone.
Yeah.
I wanted him gone. But when he got COVID and David Fisdale stepped in, we were still losing. So it don't matter what board
Yeah.
bring in.
Yeah.
This
That's
all
true.
these players get
That's
bought
true.
in.
That's true.
We-
You're right.
Talk
I
about
just realized.
so in the as of lately, we I've seen the big thing. They always talk about loyalty, and they talked about NBA players and their loyalty to the organizations not being loyal to the players. It leads me to this question of should Dame want out after recent roster moves by Portland?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Why shouldn't he? But he's not because he's too loyal.
Yes, I would say he would be loyal to a fault. I definitely didn't see the CJ thing coming. I mean, I didn't really honestly expect them to do it. I mean, they talked about it, but I really didn't expect them to do that.
Yeah.
So they did that and like went clean house. I'm like, There's no way he stays. There's
If
no.
that's me, I'm leaving. They
No
want me to be part of a rebuild? Hell
There's
no.
no way.
I'm out. I'm leaving.
No way.
I expected the CJ thing to kind of happen.
You did? I didn't.
Injury.
In my mind, I was like,
They
nah,
paid
not
you
back.
all this money,
You're
and
out.
he's been injured. Like the injuries, his
Yeah.
injury bug is bad. Like
Yeah.
it's really, you know what I'm saying? It's not as it's been just bad. And I love Dame. Like he is, but like y'all said, he is so loyal to that city.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And nobody, hold on, boo. Nobody's coming to Portland. Nobody.
Yeah.
Unless they are traded.
Yeah.
Or traded. Like there's, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no other.
Yeah. Portland, Oregon isn't a number one commodity that I would be like, oh, I want to go.
It's not even a number 2, 3, or 4 commodity. But I love his loyalty, and that's where, you know, I'm so hurt because him and Beal are the last.
Yep. Which was
him and Beal are the last, and probably, and I bet you Tatum I think Tatum is probably going to be in that pool of loyalty too. I'm pretty sure he probably won't leave Boston.
Yeah.
You know, but you never know.
You never.
But it's like, dang, you know, somebody said, you know, I think they're going to build around, I forgot the young dude that is in Portland, but I was like, no, they're going to build around Dame. But I'm like, okay, he's been around, he's been 10 years. That's 10 years too late that y'all should have been building around him.
But you got to remember too, it's a new regime now.
And I get that. And I get that too. So it's like, and so now you're sitting here. Do you stay because of that? You know what I'm saying? Do you stay because there is a new regime? You know what I'm saying? That's the question that, you know, you got to hear. And you know, if you're Dame, do you stay because there's a new regime? Do you stay because you've been this loyal, or do you be like, you know what?
They're not going to.
But you know what? He's going, more likely he's going to stay, because I think, like you said, I think he's going to stay because he's so loyal.
Yes.
By default, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love about Dame, and I will say. But I saw the CJ. Like when I saw it, I wasn't even shocked. I was just like, "Oh, it finally happened!" Like that's literally how I was.
This is my reaction.
What boo?
Man, not even those strip clubs in Portland on every corner can convince a free agent to play there.
Listen,
or the drugs.
I said this today because Dame had put out a statement today saying that he believes in Portland and wants to stay in Portland. And I said this today when I saw the statement. I said, I'm through with you. I'm done with you. I'm no longer caping for you at all. I'm not caping for you to release or anything. I'm through. I'm through with him. I used to cape for Dame to get out of there because I'm like, it makes no sense to watch a player play so hard and be so good and be with a franchise that terrible. But if you want to stay, by all means, stay and waste away, sir. Go right ahead. But you will never hear me say free Dame dollars again. I won't do it. I won't do it.
I will say this, Tristan. I understand where you, LDZ, and Jonathan's coming from, and I agree with you 100%. But one thing that Portland just did, they just reloaded. Like this offseason is going to be very big. Like they're going to have cap space and they're going to have draft picks. So if they're able to persuade somebody, like let's not forget. Dame has had people wanted to come with them, sign with them, but they had no cap space. Now you have cap space. Hey, now let's say he said, okay, hey, Kawhi, you got to opt in, opt out, come to Portland. Hey, we don't know what's going to happen to James Harden. We don't know what's going to happen. We hear rumors that Philadelphia. Portland. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of possible. They can retool this roster. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who.
I'm with you. It's like when you speak with smooth and authenticity, and I follow.
You lost me at
like,
Kawhi.
It's
You lost me
smooth.
at
I'm like, you
Kawhi.
know what? I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm struggling with
I
that.
was trying to give you some
Kawhi,
CPR.
I was like, LA, Portland, yeah, he's not doing that. And then when you said for them emptying up cap space in the offseason,
I was there till you said Kawhi. I was there.
I was
it's
with
one of
you
those
till
things
you
where
said
like,
Kawhi.
I just used the name, y'all.
but yeah, but
No,
how
you didn't. You meant what you said.
But how can you, as a team owner, and this is real quick before we go to the last question, is as a team owner, and this is something to just think about. How do you sell Portland Trailblazers, Portland, Oregon? How do
That's
you
the challenge.
That's it.
Hey, the only thing you got is Dame. That's all you got is Dame. All you got is
I think it's a beautiful
and strip
city.
club.
I think there's beautiful city.
That's why I mentioned Kawhi. To Kawhi, this dude played in San Antonio. No knock on San Antonio because San Antonio.
Look, I live here now. Okay?
No tax.
That's a beautiful city.
He did what he's supposed to do.
Portland has no taxes, right?
Yeah,
because I know Texas has no taxes. Like
I don't know. I think Oregon does.
I don't know about Portland. Hold on. Beautiful things of Portland, Oregon. Hold on.
So I'm just saying, Kawhi, it won't be hard to sell because Kawhi's bored, man. Let's not forget, like, dude don't care about that stuff. He don't care about.
Kawhi is gonna be on load management in Portland. He's gonna frustrate the heck out of Damian
Lillard. True too. You go tell Kawhi to come. Kawhi, hey, I'm gonna give you.
Or what if he get a Bradley Beal?
And then he's gonna become unhappy there. He's gonna want out like he.
So, no, we ain't taking. No, we're not doing that.
And then he's gonna get hurt.
There's
again.
a beautiful Japanese
and
garden.
He's gonna be by himself.
Does that count?
Or what if they can get Bradley Beal?
I was gonna say that goes into my last question.
Or they can get Russell Westbrook.
So
again, we talk about loyalty, right? And this is what these last two questions where we talked about loyalty. Brad Beal is another guy that's come out verbally and said, "Hey, I'm loyal to this organization. The organization drafted me." I seen that he's going to go into surgery. Has Brad Beal had enough? And wants out of Washington because I've seen reports that his team is actually meeting with them to talk about the future of Washington. So
I think he's had enough.
I hope he doesn't, but I think he's close.
If you don't win,
I think he
is
frustrated.
You want to change.
The fact that he
wants to change.
The fact that he decided to go have season-ending surgery, yeah.
When they weren't doing bad, right?
Yeah. No. I mean, no, they weren't doing too bad. They're not doing. They're competing. They're competing.
So here's Damian. Nobody wants to play there. Okay.
Portland.
I'm trying to find things to do.
Maybe
what I'm trying to.
Portland is like the.
Now, LDZ, you know what you can do in Portland,
right?
LDZ,
drugs.
You know what you can do in Portland. Let's not sit here and act like if J.R. Smith.
You know what?
Yeah. He couldn't find something to do.
See, for us, Portland's lit. Portland lit for us.
Exactly. I don't have a job.
The Nike stores, on deck. Matter of fact, Portland called me. I'll come and play here. I suit up.
I'll suit up there too.
Give me a 10-day
I don't have to get out of the car to pump my own gas. Somebody do it.
That
my
too.
birthday.
I heard about.
That's why I'm going to Arizona for my birthday because it's all legal. Like that's I'm going to the legal states.
Well, look, man, we gotta wrap it up, man. We can talk about this stuff all night.
No, but seriously though, but Beal, I think he's really close.
He's pegging it in.
He's pegging. It's like when I feel like when I got that, I had to do a double take. Like the CJ McCollum, like I said, I was like, oh, okay, you got traded, but Bradley Beal, I was like, nah. He ain't nope. Well, I get like 2 or 3 messages of everything, but that Bradley Beal, I was like, hold on. He did what? And I was like, oh, he did get surgery. Like
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and that one, and that's why I feel bad for Ricky because he's a Wizards fan.
It's been putting pressure on Zion.
What, Zion?
Zion Ben got pressure. Ben.
No, Zion, he's leaving.
Man, Zion is about to be the size of Booger next year.
He wants to go. And I think it's very strategic.
Around him.
I feel like he's strategically doing this with this weight thing. I think he's strategically doing this on purpose.
Oh yeah, so he can get cut.
Yep.
Because his family is saying he doesn't want to be there no more.
He doesn't want to be
He's
there.
had 3 coaches since he's been in the league.
Yeah.
Do you want to be there anymore?
Yeah.
Like
Nope.
I'm at the
Yeah,
point
but
where
now
I'm like,
you
I don't
got
want him to
solid
be there.
pieces. You got Brandon Ingram. You got
No.
Bradley
Don't say no. My man had an he was an all-star. Brandon Ingram was an all-star. There's no way in hell that you finna tell me that they had 2 all-stars on the roster and you can't even crack out of the 10th spot, the 11th
But they just got
spot
CJ.
with 2
They just got
all-stars.
CJ. That's not fair. They just got CJ. That's not fair.
That's not what's not fair is for you to have 2 all-stars on your team and you can't even crack the top 10 in the West. Like that's not fair.
Well, they just got him like yesterday, bro. Like
And
let's
then you have your number 1 draft pick who's always injured all the time.
But that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Zion. But I'm saying
He's
Zion's
on gumbo.
3, but at the same time, Zion's had 3 coaches
Bennett.
out of his 3 seasons. How would you feel?
Yeah.
Like how would you feel?
understand that.
Yeah.
Like you as a let's say you're a teacher.
Yeah.
You've had 3 bosses in the 3 first years of your career. How would you like really feel? Like as like you saying like, do I even trust the place I'm at, or do I want to bounce?
It would be tough. It would be tough.
And,
So maybe
so
he's
guess what?
so
He's
maybe
not.
he's
So
maybe
he's not posting it, but his
Right.
family is secretly posting he wants out. So he is deliberately eating all the gumbo.
All the
And
gumbo.
he's bigger.
he's eating all
big.
the gumbo
He's
to
sick.
to get rid of his
sick.
problems. That's how
Jonathan,
he's
have you
dealing
made
with.
gumbo before?
That's how he's dealing with his issues.
I bet he
by
hasn't.
eating gumbo.
I bet
No,
he
I
hasn't.
bet he
Same
hasn't
thing
either.
I bet. Just like
I
he
would do
wants
the
the
same
snow.
thing too. If I lived
Just like
on
he wants all the
Bourbon Street, I would do
snow.
the same
he-
damn thing.
Have you had gumbo?
Jonathan, have you?
Yeah, I've had gumbo.
Real gumbo.
Real gumbo, yes.
Okay, we got to make sure.
My
We
grandma
gotta-
was from Louisiana. She used to make it.
Okay.
Well, then you understand why Zion eating then?
Exactly.
I do.
He can play in LA too. Zion needs to
I
go.
do. He in the wrong city because you can gain some pounds there with all that.
He got that gumbo. He got some beans.
Oh no, he in the right city. He in the right city.
feasting.
He's in the right city to gain all the weight.
Absolutely.
Drinks.
Absolutely.
He's in the right
Crawfish.
city.
He in the right-
He's in the right city.
Hot water
I
cornbread.
need to get
beignets?
that in
Green
New
beans?
Orleans, man. What are you talking
Listen.
The
about?
beignets,
Catfish.
man. Especially if his family makes it, all he has to do is just sit there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Cause it's a foot. What is it? A foot injury? Leg injury? It's
It's a
something
foot
on his
injury.
lower. Yeah, it's a foot
It's
injury.
foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen this at a college as well.
Huh?
He was a big. Like you got to remember, like, he's a big dude. That's kind of like what's his name from Green Bay? That was a tight end. That
70.
should have never. That
You
became
mean
real
Eddie Lacy,
dude.
the running back?
Yeah, Eddie Lacy.
Oh, Eddie Lacy.
Lacy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Lacy
yeah.
had a problem. Yep, he sure did. He had a weight problem too.
And then, but you know what? Eddie Lacy's skinny as shit now. I looked it up because we were talking
Really?
about him on my show. We joked
See,
about him for like a good hour. He's
that's-
skinny, real thin into shape.
See, that's that bullshit right there. See, now why you couldn't do
Yeah.
this?
Why you couldn't do it when you were
That's what I'm
playing?
talking about. That's
But Braun, you know, sometimes it's being around the wrong people too. You know what
Like
I'm
I
saying?
forgot
Sometimes you
that
gotta
he was
check it
rookie
through.
of the year.
Sometimes
Like, he
you
was
gotta
a
have
stud.
people. Sometimes you gotta have people around you to tell you know what. Put down that fried chicken. Put down that hog mog. Put down that cornbread.
yeah.
Freddie, put down your
Ain't
mama's
nobody about
plate.
to tell me to put
Put
down,
down
no
your
food.
mama plate of food. You already
know-
had
Oh, I
yours.
can't do that.
You
Oh, I can't do that.
No, that's where Zion is. He with mama and them.
I
You know
knew it
what
was
I'm
bad
saying?
with Eddie Lacy when you looked at his shoulder pads and you started seeing the fat rolls
Man,
fold over the shoulder pad. That's when you knew it was getting bad. It was a
yeah,
problem.
it was good. It was good.
It was getting serious.
Pretty bad. But yes, but I'm with you. I think this is deliberate because he's getting thicker and thicker by the year.
Oh yeah, this is strategic. He know what he's doing. He don't want to be there.
And I don't even know if it's really. I feel like I don't even know if it's like really weight or if it's kind of like the James Harden, like it's
Yeah,
a little bit of weight
I
and
was
then it's
just
the
about to
body
say
shape
that.
weight.
He's picking
You know
up
what I'm
James Harden's ways.
Like, is it really weight or is it like something underneath?
Yeah.
Nah, he developed James Harden's habits, man, for sure.
All right.
Zion used to be sponsored by Jenny Craig.
What does he say? Zion needs a
You
spot
don't like James Harden.
Damn, I ain't that hard.
from Jenny Craig.
I'm just saying, Zion, he's definitely, like I say, he's definitely, there's something bigger, but like, obviously he can lose it.
Yeah.
Because he did it in Duke.
Man,
Like,
they did
he
them
wasn't
wrong in the
never-
video game too. They got some extra pounds on them in the game too. I saw them on the NBA 2K.
I'm just saying, did y'all see the meme of him like freshman, like when he was senior year, rookie year, 2023? It was Booger. ESPN.
That's what he looked like. Booger need to go take a DNA test.
That Booker.
If he has that finger,
Booger McFarland.
if he has a Booger's pinky,
man, y'all wrong, bro. Y'all wrong.
It's out.
Y'all wrong, bro.
Put they picture side by side.
Tell me I'm lying.
That's funny. After
Somebody
this
got some
show,
explaining to do.
After this show, I'm gonna put them on the split screen and show.
Put 'em on split screen.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
I'm gonna do that after this show. I'm gonna turn it into a meme.
All right, so wrapping up, man. We had fun. This was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Sure.
This is Just Say the Truth coming to you live on ASAP Network. You guys have a beautiful Wednesday night. So left of it, and we will definitely pick back up Friday, guys.
And
well, yeah. All right, so that's in the comments, guys. You guys say your goodbye.
Oh, I wanted to say thank you.
Here.
Hold on, I just want to say thank you, ASAP Network, for allowing me to be who I am. But unfortunately, this is my last show.
Tear emoji.
Yeah.
Tear emoji.
My husband wants to further his career, and I don't want to stop and be the stopper of that. So
Understood.
he wants
Understood.
to work during the day and study at night, and me trying to do multiple shows and watch a 4-year-old. I had to maneuver. Like, that's what I'm like. You see my face. I'm over here. Y'all saw it. There's flashlights. Like before Freddie, you came on, there was flashlights and everything. It's hard, to do what I want to do. So unfortunately, I'm gonna still do my show that's on Tuesday nights, and then I'm gonna do my show with Pride. It's not a sports show, and that's why I'm gonna still do that one, because it's not a sports show, but it's like an hour. It's only an hour, and so it's still. Yes, Ricky, you'll still see me on Tuesdays.
Easy, my friend.
yes, Ricky, he is still. That's my boy. But yeah, I had fun. There's maybe an opportunity I might come back, but like I said, I had so much fun. But yeah, I gotta let hubby do what he needs to do.
Hey,
absolutely.
Beautiful.
Since he pays the bills, I ain't gonna stop him from doing anything.
Wife. That's a definition of a good wife.
That's right.
That sounds like Denise. I have a great support system.
Yeah, same. Same. I got a great one here too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to find a great support system.
Hey,
y'all young. Enjoy. When I'm telling you, in your 20s, and enjoy life first.
Yes.
You're in your 20s, enjoy life first. Like, I'm telling you, my 20s.
I enjoyed my 20s. Thoroughly.
I did too.
My 20s, it's a blur. My 20s was a blur. I've been with him for 10 years. I met him at the end of my 20s. But yeah, I wouldn't change my 20s for a world, like for nothing. And people ask me that, like, if I had somebody met my 20s, like, dang, like, yeah. But at the same time, what you guys are doing, because you're in your 20s, is like the perfect time. Like, focus on your goals and just keep doing what you got to do.
Yeah, don't get old like me, and then you have a 1-year-old,
not even old,
fiance, and then you're trying to balance everything at the same time.
Facts. Got a wife and a
9-year-old. I'm 36.
But speaking on to what LDZ said, LDZ, you'll definitely be, missed. Much love to you. You always have doors always open. Over here at the ASAP Network. We're gonna disregard that because Damien's trolling again. But it's love over here. And, whenever you're ready to come back on, just let us know.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
we'll be here.
Sure.
Thank you, LaDon. Thank you. I loved your energy when you brought me in the chats. I loved it. I appreciated it. Felt good.
Yes.
Felt good.
I'll still talk crap. You know, that's what I'm here for.
All right.
One day I'll find a commercial that's not the same one. Maybe I'll play my favorite one. That's Jonathan Getting Up. This is for my last time. Jonathan Getting Up and the Pride one. I'll play this commercial.
Or I don't know if they have one of me falling asleep when I fell asleep.
No, the one that's for face when Pride said something about Kobe. I meant that Kobe overrated that commercial, and then your face, and you just got up. That one.
Kobe overrated.
I fell asleep on the live show.
I'd have fucked
I know. You
can see the slobber coming out of my mouth and everything. Man,
I've had co-stars do that. But yeah, we're gonna play my other favorite commercial. But yeah, but you gonna take us home, or am I taking us home? Am I taking us home?
Taking us home.
Okay,
I'll take us home for the last time.
Take us home.
Yeah, let LDZ do it.
For the last time. Thank you, everybody. And the gentleman will see. I remember hearing and we all remember Jonathan falling asleep.
Yep.
Mad snoring. We've all been there. We've all done it.
I have no shame. I was tired.
Just Say the Truth will be back on Friday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Probably talking about we'll see what happens with all these trade rumors. Hopefully baseball will come back on. Yeah. Hopefully, well, you won't hear nothing about football.
Bill Russell.
Hopefully, I'll do a little prayer that somehow, some way, that Russell Westbrook, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, is off the Lakers. I'll pray for you.
Thank you, because I'm stressed.
There you go. Because I never liked Westbrook. I've always thought no one realizes he shoots. And then it looks good, but then they don't realize he's shooting 15,462 times just to get that triple double. But that's there. So.
I don't know how. Before we go, I don't know how true it is, but I heard the Lakers are thinking about packaging a deal to bring Julius Randle back. That ain't gonna happen.
They're trying to get Wall.
Don't do that.
I heard they try to trade for Wall.
No, Wall is like another Russell Westbrook.
I was like, if they're trying to trade for Wall, this is
better shooter.
Y'all just like
Wall better shooter.
But he gonna bring the drama in the baggage, and we don't need that. We got enough.
I was like, y'all just love beautiful nightmares in LA.
We got enough heavy bags to carry right now. We don't need no more bags to be carrying.
I'll take John Wall over Russ. I'll take anybody.
I agree with you on that one. I'll take that one. I agree with you on that one. But on that note, I'm about to play with my favorite video commercial. And everybody have a great night.
All right.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
Whole sports, all plays. Whole sports, all plays. Whole sports, all plays.